Hi travelers, Tara here. This is an unexpected reading. I don't know, I've done a lot of readings over the past few days. I'm having extremely active dreams. I'm having a lot of spirit contact. There's a ripple going through the Akashic records, a definite energetic shift. Now, we do have a full moon in Gemini coming up, and so website members, just so you know, I am recording the December readings already. There's a huge energetic shift happening, and so I'm going to go ahead. I know it's kind of early. I'm working on the individuals right now. I'm gonna go ahead and post those up probably within the next couple of days. Give me Thanksgiving off, and then hopefully by, let's say, maybe the weekend, maybe Monday, all 12 of those individual December readings will be up. I can honestly tell you that the ones that I have done, that I have completed, show major energetic swings, and that is, I think, in part due to a lot of the planetary energy that we have going on. We know that Jupiter has just moved into its ruling sign. We know that Uranus has retrograded back through Aries. We know that Mercury is in retrograde. He'll be retrograding not only in Sagittarius, but he'll be traveling all the way back into Scorpio and then turning direct and moving back again. Neptune has finally, I think Neptune is coming out of its 5-month retrograde phase, which I think is huge. Let me take a look here at my software on my phone here and see what I can see. Let's see, where is he? Let me put it on 0 Aries. That's going to help me a lot more than what I'm looking at. Yes, he will be coming out of retrograde. Neptune will be coming out of retrograde phase. Let me show you. Let me show you something. Let me show you something, neighbor. November 25th. Now, we also have a full moon in Gemini, and so there's going to be an opposition between Gemini and Sagittarius. They are opposite the wheel, the natal wheel, and Gemini is opposite Sagittarius. Okay. So we also have that. So there's a full moon, there's a Uranus retrograde. Oh wait, and we haven't forgotten about the nodes having changed signs, moving from North Node into Cancer, South Node into Capricorn. That's where they just moved to. Okay, let me start over. So we've got the nodal shift. Okay, we have Uranus retrograding back into Aries. We have Mercury retrograding in Sagittarius. We have Jupiter moving into his ruling sign. And we have a full moon. And we also have Neptune, who is about to move direct after 5 months of retrograde. He's been retrograde in the sign of Pisces. Okay? So that is a lot of planetary energy. And these are major shifts. And whenever, you know, the personal planets, which are going to be Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Venus, those have an everyday effect on you. But those big planets, those big outer planets, so this is Pluto, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Jupiter, when the big planets start to move, then you really want to take notice, because there's a shift going on. Okay, and it's a worldwide kind of a shift. So don't assume, if you're struggling with this Mercury retrograde, that you're the only person that it's affecting. Everybody's underneath the same kind of influence. And so, you know, it's going to require a lot more patience and a lot more cautiousness trying to move forward, because there's a lot of energies at play that just don't quite sit right. And that's what I'm feeling on a psychic level. And so I've been churning out huge amounts of work, but that's only because my dreams have been so active. Those of you who have been with me for a while know that I don't have any dream recall. So in order for me to sit here today and tell you, you know, I'm having a huge spike in psychic activity, dream activity, I'm remembering some of these. I'm bits and pieces, but it's very, very active. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull 9 cards. And I'm going to use the Fantastical Creatures Tarot. I'm going to clarify these with the Indovina Sibilas. All right. And then I'm going to, whatever kind of sore thumb card that pops up, I'm going to pull 3 playing cards on that. And then I'm going to wrap this reading up with an angel answer card. So I'm just being told to get my December readings up. Because there's information contained, I think, in every one of them that somebody needs to hear. Okay, so with that being said, 9 cards down. 6 of Swords. That's the Japanese ho-ho. He's kind of related to the Phoenix. There's the Strength card. I'll show you this in a moment. Here is the 4 of Swords. The Knight of Cups, the Knight of Wands. 2 knights face to face. Something is happening. 2 things are colliding. 2 things are in opposition. 2 types of messages. 2 different styles of communicating. The Temperance. There's our Sagittarius card. Here's the King of Pentacles. So this is either a situation or you're dealing with an earth sign individual. If not an earth sign individual, which would be Taurus, Virgo, and or Capricorn, then what we're dealing with is maybe a financial advisor, a banker, stockbroker. I don't know. The Lovers. There's that opposition that I was speaking about. And the reason why I'm calling it an opposition, well, I'll explain that in a moment. Here's the 3 of Swords. And this is interesting to me because here in the future vertical column, I am looking at a 4 of Swords, then a Temperance, and then a 3 of Swords. So we lose a sword. So either this is some kind of misfortunate event or there's some bad news coming. Okay? Y'all know I don't like to scare people. This is not a scary reading, but this is really, I think the cards are saying there are 2 6s here. And there are 3 court cards here. The Knight of Cups, Knight of Wands, and the King of Pentacles. My 2 6s are 6 of Swords and the Lovers. It ends with a 3. 4 of Swords, Knight of Cups, 3 of Swords. There's our Sun card. Now, what does the Sun do? And what does the Sun represent? Well, first of all, the Sun is going to be moving into Sagittarius here. Sagittarius, Sun in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Sagittarius, Mercury in Sagittarius, Moon opposed to Sagittarius. The Sun represents how you shine, how you gain success. It is about the way you gain attention, seek attention, get attention, bring attention to yourself. It represents men. It's the masculine principle. It represents men and boys. It talks about success, something positive. It is the most positive card in any deck, but it also illuminates things for you. Okay? You can see everything just as it is in the sunlight. Things tend to take on different types of shapes underneath the light of the moon, right? Off the cuff, right off the bat, 2 knights speak to a slight concern in regards to a new business ship, partnership, romance, and or commitment. That's that Lover's card. And the Sun and the Strength card kind of support each other. So and then with this Knight of Wands. So I'm not exactly sure if what the cards are telling me is that this might be more so a fire sign individual. We have all these fire cards. Leo, the Knight of Wands, the Temperance. Sagittarius is a fire sign. With the Sun here. And maybe what the person does has to do something with financing. Now I have these three major arcanas here: Strength, Temperance, and the Lovers. This is a Gemini card, so it also rules Mercury. We see that they're messages here. Those of you who've been with me for a while know that I don't read the Knights so much as messages and or news. That is the traditional meaning, but to me they represent events. Okay, and an event can be presaged by a message, right? Something comes in, then you've got to do something, or something happens. But these two are on a collision course. They are head to head, face to face. The Six of Swords has sometimes come up like a separation, but it also represents this idea of moving away from something, right? Sometimes it's a literal move. Maybe you've moved from one location to another, from one address to another, maybe if it's a work deal, maybe you've changed jobs. That's a change of address. You've moved. Typically, it represents by water, around water, near water. Sometimes it can represent travel. Sometimes it presages a breakup, a separation. There's been some kind of time out, some kind of rest, some kind of contemplation. That's what that for. You see, they're little lambs coming out of those lilies. So this is about a time of peace. You see that they're hiding, so to speak. They are shielding themselves. Camouflage. They're safe right where they are. The swords are at rest. But then someone or something shows up. And this is my timing. I don't know if this has to do with the holidays and traveling. But there's not good news coming. Something, and this is my timing. Sun in Sagittarius. That's my timing. So whatever this thing is, it's going to be, I think, triggered by the full moon in the sign of Gemini. That is oppositions. This can be either opposed within yourself about some kind of choice that you're going to have to make, decision, or someone is going to be making. So it could be somebody who is complete opposition to you, Gemini and Sagittarius. And again, these swords are pointed down. And we go from a 4 to a 3. The Ace of Swords, clarity, illumination, the truth. But it has a double edge to it. Okay? It's almost as if the cards are saying there's been a moment where there's been some healing that's happening here. Some kind of balance, emotional balance, some kind of healing, but then suddenly, and I don't necessarily want to say suddenly, but the reason why I say suddenly is this Knight of Wands is in the center here in line with these Six of Swords. Air energy is always fast energy. It just may take a minute for that message or that news to get to you, because we do know that we have Mercury in retrograde status. So I want to prepare you that you may receive news that is not going to be very pleasant at the moment. Okay? Now, what I want to do, where's my book? I'm going to show you these cards and read you the meanings. And the cards that I'm going to look at, it's this row down the center. For sure, we're going to look at this Three of Swords. But I'm being told that there's something else here. I just haven't seen it yet. So maybe as I read through it, it will become clear to me. I want to say it's the Six of Swords, but I'm just not sure yet. So let me just read these to you. And then we're going to look at the only cards I can look at here as they relate to these three major arcana is the Six of Swords, Four of Swords, and the Three of Swords. Well, okay, so here we go. We lose Three Swords. Whatever this is, this changes everything. Whether it's a trip, a visit, news, something coming to light, a spiritual lesson that's learned, or the higher meaning of why this all has happened the way that it has happened. What's underneath here? The Justice card. The House of Partnerships, contracts, negotiations. It is considered the house of marriage because marriage is a contract. It is a legal contract. It is a binding contract. It is a public contract. You put yourself, normally there are announcements made in the papers. Then you go downtown and you apply for the license. Then you go get a new social security card with the new name and a new driver's license with the new name. And then you buy houses and then you have joint bank accounts. Okay? That's why it's called. So if there is a legal issue, if there's an opposition, that's an open enemy. That's where that's going to show up. If you file for divorce, then you go down to the courthouse, you file paperwork, everybody knows somebody may move out of the house, or there becomes a fight over the property. It becomes public. The way everything else works is in the 8th house. That's what goes on behind closed doors. Okay? What happens after the fact. So, something's being illuminated here. Let's look. You will travel across water or move from one place to another. There could be there could be visits from distant friends or family. Any move you make will be positive. Let me go back and read that. The ho-ho illuminates its connections with the sun. That's what I'm telling you. So in a few days, a multitude of okay. His swords offer protection and creates a positive space of balance and rest. Here's the Strength card. It's an 8. This card represents the ability to cope with stress and win in the end. It tells me of the surrounding nature of the cards, tells me of the problem. If ill, there will be rapid recovery. If maligned by gossip, the truth will come out. This card also warns you not to miss opportunities or to give up. And I think maybe some of you have been dealing with that. You have, in effect, kind of either psychologically or maybe even literally moved away from a situation. You've gotten to a point now where you can gain a little bit of rest, maybe healing and recuperation, whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, mental, financially, whatever the case may be. But then something happens. Something happens. So let's try to see what this is. I might pull cards across those two nights. I think that's what I should be doing. 4 of Swords. A time of sorrow and misfortune is followed by a period of peaceful rest and recovery. This is the sorrow card, and it relates to this person, whomever this person is for you. Male or female, same sex or heterosexual, whomever is going to take the role of either this financial person or this earth sign person. And the reason why I tell you this is because of this Knight of Cups. I'll tell you what the Knight of Cups is saying to you. If this card relates to a person, he or she is a kind but unreliable friend. If this card represents a situation, a message of love or proposal may be coming your way. But it also says you may be so deeply involved with someone that you don't see clearly. And then I'm going to go back and look over these cards for you. Let me just finish giving you these meanings here. It's definitely, there's a ripple here. Something is happening. Knight of Wands. Important, powerful forces are affecting the events in your life. Be certain you are on a positive path in order to take advantage of them. Good news is coming about a journey, a move, or a job change. Now here, look, twice we see this idea of moving, traveling, journeying. So the question becomes, is that simply due to perhaps maybe the Wheel of Fortune that it doesn't go through, or is there another reason behind it? Something is trying to be illuminated for us. The Temperance card. A time of moderation and harmony, a period of inner growth and using your energies wisely. Let me tell you what this card is used for. It is used to correct imbalances in relationships and to resolve quarrels and conflicts. King of Pentacles. If a person, this card represents a wealthy, secure man who is experienced in handling money. The appearance of such a man will help you in a business. You find new meaning and spiritual comfort in nature. Well, here's the Lover's card. A new love may enter your life unexpectedly. Your head often rules your heart. Your heart often rules your head. However, this time it may be worth the risk. But be aware that your decision may not sit well with others. So take care with this choice, for it will affect you for a long time. Three of Swords. Now, I would dare say that with the Sun card coming over the top of this, it may be a painful time, but it will all become clear to you because the Sun still is a somewhat protective card. It provides light and warmth. Three of Swords. An omen of heartache, sadness, losses, and possible rejection. This card reveals the pain of separation in a love relationship. It's almost like you've been waiting around, you've been doing the work on yourself, suddenly somebody new shows up, there's a brand new faith and a brand new hope. Maybe this causes problems. I don't know. I don't see this necessarily as causing problems for anybody else. It is the decision. You either decide to go through or you decide not to. For those of you who decide to go through, it may bring you some loss and some heartache. But then again, for those of you who decide to pass up this opportunity, that too, that's the double-edged sword. There it is. There's that Ace of Swords. Well, why is that so? Let me look at the Sun card. Right quick. Then we're going to pull cards. We're going to read these meanings. Then we're going to pull cards, and then we're going to close this reading down. Here's the Sun. Hold on. Continued courage and persistence will carry you through your struggles. Encouragement comes from all sides. This is a time of new beginnings, accomplishments, and success. The Sun is a protective card filled with energy and confidence. Wow. Let's go to the cards. Six of Swords, as they relate to these three major arcana cards here. There's a huge ripple happening here. I can't explain it any other way. Those of you who are HSP might be feeling it too. HSP is highly sensitive people. 2 6s tells of justifiable faith and trust in your partner. This could be that maybe there's a plan for you guys to get together over the holidays and it doesn't come through. Let's not think the worst. 4 of Swords. There's 2 swords missing here. As if there's definitely something we're not seeing or something we're not sure about. It's kind of repeated here in this Lover's card. Head or heart. From the 6 to the 4 is 2 swords. Okay, 4 of Swords. With 3 court cards. 1, 2, 3. Indicates that there are some misunderstandings and difficulties with current relationships. It is a message not to proceed with any new ventures or relationships unless you feel absolutely secure. It is most important to check the fine details before proceeding, as there is a possibility of difficulties arising. Remember those 2 nights, what I told you about? I'm going to read those 2 nights to you again. Let's look at this 3 of Swords now. These are all Swords cards that I'm looking at. So there's definitely some kind of, I don't know. Well, hang on to yourselves. The 3 of Swords next to the Lovers with other Swords cards around is a strong indication that a close relationship is coming to an end. Wow, that's just not any damn fun over the holidays, is it? Let me take a look at these 2 nights so I can tell you what this means. Two nights indicate mixed messages or signal that that cause you to doubt the sincerity of a male friend. It also speaks to the idea of having some kind of slight concern. Well, let's pull cards. I'm going to pull 3 cards across this Knight of Cups. We definitely see this here. And look, there's a fox in the background. See it? We know that foxes are cunning and sly and crafty, but we also know they also just do what they do. Do they steal? Yeah, they steal. But that's the nature of foxes. They're not necessarily doing it to be thieves, right? But they're definitely slick with it. There it is, a letter. The Trap. And that's another Three of Swords. Shit. And the Il Nemico. Three of Swords. The Enemy. That's a Six of Wands card. That would be 3 sixes. Six of Swords, Six of Wands, and then the Lovers. What you're doing and what you're thinking. An important revelation. A victory. Remember I said it's like it's all going to, the protection of the Sun card, it's all going to, in the end, kind of work out okay. Pleasant pastime. It's almost as if the card says that whatever it is you find out, you're going to be like so happy. It's not going to really ruin anything. Like, you know, kind of one of those things. I'm going to pull cards across these two. This King of Pentacles and that Lovers, as they relate to these three cards at the top. Five of Spades. Nine of Clubs, and the King of Hearts. Well, well, well. Let's read all about this. It speaks Five of Spades. This card usually indicates something to do with someone trying to prove that they know what's best. It's about anxiety and setbacks, and someone who perhaps maybe is having difficulty controlling their temper. It asks you to be flexible and listen and to see the whole picture as the answer is right in front of you. It says that you can view these delays and setbacks and oppositions as a blessing in disguise, but it can also be an indication that this person is also someone who's very negative anyway. That could be that karmic aspect to it. You know, it kind of reads like there's two men here, or two males, and one may be jealous over the other, which is kind of weird, because what I don't see is that but look, I don't think they know about each other, or maybe they do in some way, shape, or form. Oh, I don't know. I'm just a card reader. Nine of Clubs. You feel confused and in a rut, and there can be disputes with friends over money. Stop, stand still, and focus on your goal. And here's this King of Hearts here. It says that the person is good-hearted and kind, but rash in judgment. Do not rely upon this person for good advice. The person is generous but also prone to gossip. So whatever you do, don't share your innermost secrets with this person. I don't know. That's interesting. Let me pull one. The letter. There's some kind of trap here. Somebody lying in wait as if there's a coaxing out. There's definitely the thoughts. And there, my friends, is your Ace of Swords. Remember when I said for some of you, you're going to choose this? Then you're going to be like, why the fuck did I choose this? And then for others of you, you're going to turn it around. Right? You're not going to accept. And it's going to be okay. And even if you accept and it turns out to go to shit, eventually it all become clear to you. Life is funny that way. Sometimes it don't be funny like haha funny, but it's funny that way. There's such an irony to this reading that I can't even explain it. There is an element of your plan that should be reevaluated. Take some time to really go through your project or proposal thoroughly. Share your intentions with a trusted friend or advisor who can give you objective feedback. I'm saying to you at the moment, I would kind of maybe keep myself to myself. This is not the moment to make the change in your life that you are considering. A better time will come, or you'll realize that you wish to choose a different kind of transformation for yourself. That's what I have for you. That is crazy. So have a happy holiday. Good luck across this full moon in the next few. This happened across the holidays too. Season. And I'll be back to talk to you sometime soon. Until next time, namaste.